virtualization, you can observe VMware is following full virtualization, whereas VMware ESX server follows the just possesses the para virtualization. What is full virtualization? What do you mean by full virtualization and para virtualization means? The full virtualization, here it does not need to modify the guest OS, and the critical instructions are emulated by software through the use of binary translation. And this VMware workstation applies full virtualization, which uses binary translation to automatically modify x86 software on the fly to replace critical instructions. Here the advantages are no need to have modification of the OS, and the disadvantage is nothing but binary translation is very slow, which slows down the performance. Okay, and the next one is para virtualization. Para virtualization reduces the overhead, but cost of maintaining a para virtualized OS is very high. The improvement depends on the workload. Para virtualization must modify guest OS. Non-virtualizable instructions are replaced by hypercalls that communicate directly with the hypervisor or VMM. Okay, so here the para virtualization is supported by Xen, okay, and VMware ESX also, and VMware ESX also supports the para virtualization. Okay, dear students, full virtualization means here all the components, the hardware components, so you will just make the you will implement the virtualization from the hardware level. Okay, that is what nothing but the full virtualization. So there on the top of the virtualization layer, you can have the guest OS, and this OS is no need to modify because of it runs on the virtualized hardware itself. Okay, so here the concept of full virtualization using a hypervisor or a VMM directly sitting on the top of the bare hardware devices. Here you can note that no host OS is used. Okay, right? So this is nothing but the full virtualization. Binary translation of guest OS, it requires binary translation is required. Here the protection rings have been observed. You can observe the protection rings: ring 0, ring 1, ring 2, ring 3. So here ring 0 is having highest privilege than ring 1, ring 2 and ring 3 and all. Okay, so the privileging mode is increasing, is more for ring 0 than all the demand, and one is having the privileges high privileges than ring 2, ring 3 like that. Okay, these are the concepts in OS subject. Okay, right here the virtual machine from the all the user arms can directly executed on the hardware, the host computer system hardware directly, and from the guest operating systems the virtual applications can be run through VMM, and this VMM can their performs a binary translation. Because of this guest OS is also a language, one sort of mission level program. So this mission level program should be translated into the VMM, and then again from VMM into the host mission hardware. So the binary translation must be required. There you must compulsorily go ahead with the compiler concept. Okay, so to implement this full virtualization, you must require binary translators. Compulsorily required. Okay, binary translators. Okay, so this is nothing but they being because of translation from same level, but on a different machines. Now you have to change it. Okay, from guest operating system to the VMM, and from VMM to the hardware, host computer hardware. This is what binary translation of guest OS requests using a VMM. Okay, coming to the para virtualization. Para virtualization requires highly the compiler support. Here the KVM builds offers kernel based virtual machine on the Linux platform based on para virtualization. On the top of the hardware, you can load the VMM, that is the hypervisor, and there here the guest operating system should be modified, should be virtualized, should be para virtualized, the guest operating systems. You can observe the figure. This is what nothing but the para virtualization. So in this In this way, you must require highly the compiler support. The use of a para-virtualized guest operating system assisted by the intelligent compiler to replace non-virtualizable operating system instructions by hypercores. Okay. Ring 0, ring 1, ring 2, ring 3. In ring 3, user apps will be there. In ring 0, high privileged para-virtualized guest OS will run on ring 0. And on the top of the hardware, host-based computer hardware, you can have the VMM, that is virtualization layer you can have. So in between, these calls can be translated with the help of the compiler support. So this is what nothing but the para-virtualized guest OS. Here this is VMware ESX server for para-virtualization. It maintains all the guest operating system. It maintains a virtualization, and for this it maintains a virtual machine VMMs, and in the kernel level it maintains the different sort of schedulers, memory management, okay, ACS drivers, different drivers, Ethernet drivers, different drivers it maintains in the VMM. Okay, so here in the VM kernel level it maintains this is mainly kernel based virtualization. This is mainly follows the kernel based virtualization, and all the hardware, the host mission hardwares are nothing but the same. The CPUs, you can observe CPUs, memories, disk, and all the network cards, interfacing cards. Okay, you can observe, and it maintains one control OS because of your kernel based virtualization you are maintaining. The next one, CPU virtualization. A CPU architecture is virtualizable if it supports the ability to run the virtual machines, privileged and unprivileged instructions in the CPU's user mode. This is all the privileged instructions, see, user instructions and the voice instructions. So if you run on the same in the user mode, CPU's user mode, then that is nothing but even the privileged instruction is also going to be executed in user mode. That is what CPU virtualization. Okay, that is what nothing but the CPU virtualization. The CPU entire architecture is virtualizable. So suppose by that it is able to support the just to run the virtual missions in privileged and unprivileged instructions also, even in users mode. Okay. The memory virtualization channels, the address translation, page table shadowing, overheads, and many such memory. So here in this case also the disk schedulers and time being the page tables and the shadow page tables. Whenever there is a need to store the data and retrieve the data, here it needs to maintain the tables virtually, and these tables must be maintained virtually. So virtually it must be able to collect all such data just by considering the overheads and the page table shadowing and address translations. All these are the concepts must be implemented in this memory virtualization channels. The current virtual I/O devices, the guest device driver will be there. So here the mainly the virtualization layer, it maintains the emulation. Emulation is, that is imitation of a particular hardware, is nothing but emulation. Emulation devices will be there, and in the I/O stack it just can hold all the tasks related to the I/O. Okay, just it maintains all the tasks one by one, it maintains in that stack, and as time being with the help of the drivers, so these tasks can be made made available to all the I/O devices and can complete the task, accomplish the task. So this is here it maintains the guest device drivers, virtual device virtualization layer, which emulates the virtual device, remaps guest and real I/O addresses, multiplexes and devices, the physical device I/O features, etc. Okay, so here the real devices in the bottom layer you can observe the real devices. Okay.